If you're excited for Saints football like me and my guy Trace Gerard, go down, subscribe, because we are getting super close to 8,000 subscribers, Trace.
Guys, let's hit 8K by the game on Saturday. Preseason kickoff. There's no reason not to subscribe. It's free content, interactive content, daily videos about news, rumors, everything else under the sun. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys.
Saints Now is presented by Aura, a all-in-one digital safety tool. If you go to aura.com/chatsports, that's where you can begin your 14-day free trial. I am Will Scott. Welcome into Saints Now. We're going to be talking about some winners and losers from Saints training camp. A lot of players making an impact at camp, probably none more, though, than Paulson Adebo. He has been a monster at camp on the defensive end. He's probably the biggest standout from training camp thus far. He has lit it up. He is really, really impressed, and maybe he's in for the best season of his career because of how good he's looked the last couple weeks. Dennis Allen says he's really stepped up his game up to this point at camp. D.A., who's obviously known for being a defensive guy, Adebo has certainly caught DA's eye, and Adebo has looked stellar at camp. And this is a really good Saints defense. We know this, and good Saints wide receivers as well. And he's looked excellent in one-on-ones. And if you're the Saints corners going up against so many Saints, very talented Saints receivers like MT, like Jarvis, like some other guys as well, then Adebo really, really stepping up. Traquan Smith said this about Adebo: I got 10 yards, and he started hugging me closer. I felt like now he's understanding there ain't no way I'm fitting to run a slant. I'm way past a slant. There ain't no way I'm going to run a hitch or an out. He's starting to eliminate routes. That coming from Traquan Smith. So I think this is great news, man. I mean, iron sharpens iron. When you're going up against a lot of talented receivers, that makes you better as a corner. Adebo is doing that every single day at Saints training camp. Quite frankly, is winning those one-on-one matchups. Now, name your biggest training camp winner. Go down in the comments section. Is it Adebo? Is it Jameis? Is it Tyrann Mathieu? Let me know your biggest training camp winner. Obviously, good to have the Honey Badger back as well. Jameis Winston is back and better than ever. It is great to see him back on the football field. Look, I mean, he's proved at camp these things, that he still has a great deep ball, right? That has not gone away. He's won over the locker room. We're not just seeing this in the last 2 weeks. We've seen this throughout the offseason. He brought a couple Saints players out to Miami for workouts. He's showing efficiency and explosiveness moving around very well. And that's what you look for when coming off an ACL tear, how mobile a quarterback is. He's been moving around the pocket pretty well, improving his short game accuracy as well. As we bring back producer Trace. Trace, what has stood out to you about Jameis Winston thus far at camp?
So one of the things that has been sticking out to me, like we saw in that graphic, was the deep ball. I mean, I think that he still has a lot of power in his throw.
Yep.
And, you know, one of the things that Dennis Allen has been saying is that from a physical standpoint, his work is encouraging, but from, you know, the execution he has, that is what's really the story behind him. And, you know, he's coming off a bunch of multiple deep passes, very accurate, tight windows, including a couple 50-yard, 40-yard bombs to, you know, Deontay Hardy, Chris Olave, working on that chemistry with, you know, the new guys, revamping and rebuilding and improving the chemistry he has with Michael Thomas as well. I mean, you know, this past weekend he went 4 for 4 in his 7-on-7 series, which isn't all that bad. You know, it's practice. You can't really do too much with it, but it's showing that he has some good decision making. He's able to put the ball where he wants it, and I think that these are all things that he's struggled with in the past.
Yeah, for sure, and I'm really excited to see what Jameis can do. We don't know if he's going to play in the preseason. I hope he does, because he hasn't played a football game in, 9-10 months, so it would be good to see him back on the field, but obviously his health and getting him back 100% is the priority. Now, how many TDs, how many INTs for Jameis in 2022? Go down in the comments section and let us know. It is the pinned comment on today's video. When ad break comes, go down, chime in. Trace, I think you're feeling pretty good about Jameis.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. I'm thinking 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I don't know. I getting close to that 30 for 30.
We don't want that 30
not the 30,
for 30.
not the second 30.
No.
Not the second 30. Let's go ahead and make that clear. But
like
the 30
touchdowns,
we like that. We like that a lot. I think that he could do
Eat
well.
That W. Eat that W.
There you go. All right, go. Let's everyone take a bite out of a W right there. No, I think Jameis Winston actually could do really, really well this season. I mean, he has a lot of new targets with Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave. I think that will allow the offense to, really be unlocked and really, take advantage of that short game that he also has. I mean, we call it slant boy with Michael Thomas, and they say Jarvis Landry is incredible inside the 10-yard line, but I have this argument. If he's gonna run a slant and it's gonna happen, that's all he does, then stop him. My bad. We can't stop him. Okay, my fault.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good about Jameis. I think he's gonna have maybe even over 30 touchdowns this season. Maybe he's gonna be throwing a couple of those TDs to Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas has been looking very sharp as well. Multiple videos show him moving and cutting very, very well. Was not expected to participate this much this quickly, but he has. Keep in mind, he's placed in the PUP list prior to the start of training camp. We didn't know if we were going to see him at camp, but overall, he looks incredible. And the haters, you better look out because MT is fixing to prove y'all wrong. He hasn't shown many signs of taking step backs or slowing down, so he's looked healthy. He's looked explosive, which is what you want to see from MT. And like we said, multiple videos show him cutting and moving very well. Every video that is coming out of Saints training camp, MT looks very, very good. Chris Olave, one of the newest members of this team, said this: he's got a really good routine. He's consistent with his routine throughout the day. When he's on the field, he don't talk much. I kind of follow that lead. He got that dog in him, so that makes me want to go harder. Which MT will we get in 2022? Is it going to be better, worse, or the same? Go down. Let me know. Maybe he's in for the best season of his career. I know it'd be tough to beat that 2019 season, but he's looking pretty good at camp. What's also looking good is your bank account if you switch to Aura, because Aura is going to keep that secure, offering financial fraud protection, identity theft protection, online and device security. They're also going to keep your family safe as well. They offer family plans to protect up to 5 people. You can start a free trial at Aura.com/chatsports. Look, it's a 14-day free trial. Go and take advantage. You're going to see the impact that Aura makes for you and your banking account online. 14-day free trial at Aura.com/chatsports. Ian Book is a loser from camp, and he's the third QB on this team, and I don't know if he's a lock to make the team. I think he will, but, man, it is not a given based on what we've heard about Ian Book. Here is what DA said. He's still got a ways to go, but I've seen some improvement. DA says his ability to go off schedule is one of his better assets, and he'll be getting a good bit of action on Saturday, and that's the great thing about the preseason. We'll get to see some guys that we normally don't see. Now, here is the current QB depth chart. They just signed KJ Costello. Shout out to Nick Underhill, by the way, because Nick Underhill tweeted about 24 hours before that signing, the Saints might bring in a veteran quarterback that they're familiar with, maybe KJ Costello, and of course KJ signs like the next day. Jameis is QB1, Dalton is QB2, and then Ian Book QB3. Now, why Book's a loser is because he really hasn't stood out much, training camp. He hasn't played that poorly, but he also hasn't played that great. He's kind of been mediocre, and I think that from his standpoint, he's probably very disappointed in how he's looked because he's trying to make this football team, and I don't know, maybe because he hasn't looked great, that's why they brought in KJ Costello to maybe be QB3. But another reason that Book might not make the team is because Taysom Hill could always be the emergency quarterback if Dalton and Jameis both go down in the same game, which is probably not going to happen. Now, Malcolm Brown is another loser because he's no longer on this team. As you can see on the backdrop of his photo, he is now a free agent. This coming from Underhill yesterday. The Saints released running back Malcolm Brown, per source. Looks like Tony Jones, Dwayne Washington, Abram Smith, and Devine Exebo are the guys in the mix for RB3. Luke Johnson had it first. Here is the updated running back depth chart. So you have a pretty big competition right now. Probably 4 or 5 RBs going to make this team. Not everyone on the screen going to make this team. We know Malcolm Brown is not going to make the team because he has been released. They signed him on July 26th. And I remember doing a video with Trace that day, and I'm like, Malcolm Brown, really? Couldn't do better than Malcolm Brown? Well, they got Malcolm Brown in the building and realized we can do better than Malcolm Brown. This coming in from Catherine Terrell. There's a lot of moves that have been made recently. Transaction wire today. Saints released Jaleel Johnson, officially signed Brian Allen, Jack Corner, KJ Costello, and then Bryce Thompson to the IR. You get all that because there's been so many moves the Saints have made, it's impossible to keep up with all of these moves. So, Mickey Loomis, just do me a favor. Slow down a little bit because we're trying to keep our loyal subscribers updated here on Saints Now. It's tough with all the moves, but that's why you should subscribe because regardless, if the Saints make no moves or they make 14 in the last 24 hours, which is basically what they've done, we're going to update you. So hit that big red subscribe button. We're trying to get to 8K. If you're excited about the Saints preseason, go down and let us know. Scale it 1 to 100, your excitement level for Saints preseason football. The last loser we have is the NFC South. The rest of the NFC South, because when you look at what's coming out of Saints camp, you got MT back and better than ever. This is going to be something. This image right here is going to have the Carolina Panthers, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers shaking.
I mean, look at that. Look at that, Will.
The Honey Badger.
That's
Honey Badger don't care. Honey Badger don't care.
That's in the black and gold.
Honey Badger don't care.
Ooh,
He's coming for you,
good.
Tom Brady. He's coming.
And we got DeMario and CeeDee just locking it up. The biggest problems for Tom Brady in the NFC South. You got to show them some love. But hold on, Will. Hold on. Are you ready?
Cool me down.
That
Cool me
looks
down.
good.
Cool me down.
Oh, that
cool
looks
me
good.
down. Oh.
I mean, I still am having trouble believing this. Now that the pictures are finally out, like, oh my God.
That's not Photoshop? That's
no,
real?
it is a real picture.
Oh my
It is
gosh.
incredible.
Go Tigers, baby.
Dude,
Go Tigers.
Look at this. I mean, yeah. Sorry, Tom Brady. Not sorry.
It's over.
You guys are
It's
so
over
screwed.
for the division.
It's so
It's
bad.
over.
It's,
Did you hear how that Dolphins-Bucs joint practice went, by the way? Like,
What?
the Buccaneers do not look like the Buccaneers that they've looked like the past couple of years.
No
like,
kidding.
They got dominated by the Dolphins, who, like, are a solid team, but it's not like the Dolphins or the Rams.
Well, yeah, and it's hilarious because, we took Jameis away from them, and they haven't really been all that great since, win a Super Bowl, whatever.
Yeah,
but,
I
also, 4-1, Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time. Yeah, no thanks. No, thank you. I'm good.
Who Dat Nation, subscribe because we're going to keep you up to date throughout the Saints preseason. That's a big red sub button down there. Will Scott, Trace Gerard here with you. And Trace, tell them what to do if they made it to the end of the video.
Guys, if you made it to the end, thank you so much, first of all. But go ahead and comment real one down below. We're going to be shouting out 10 of y'all. Just random 10 of you guys. So we need real ones to let themselves be known, let themselves be heard. We'll catch you later, Who Dat Nation. Stay golden, baby.